Good evening. Good evening. This is Valerie McDowell, your writer, editor, author, book coach, and consultant. It is Write It Out Wednesday. This is the day where we put you at the top of your writing list. And I wanted to just come before you today on this day, December 15th. We're halfway through the month, almost at the end of the year. I know many of you have signed up for the 90 Days to Goal. So congratulations to those of you who have been working towards finishing your book by the end of this year. And then we've had a Friendsgiving special. So some of you joined up for that. You brought in a friend or a colleague or a family member even to work together to get your books done. So you had a 2-for-1 special going on for a little bit. But then also, I just wanted to just check in with you because, if you have questions today, I wanted to be available to answer. I do group coaching on the weekends, but I also just wanted to jump in here in case there were some questions that you had. And I had a few that came in earlier, but I just wanted to put a few thoughts before you today. Dealing with that to-do list, tackling the end of year to-do list. So that's what we're going to be talking about on Writing It Out Wednesday, or what is we're going to write it out on Write It Out Wednesday. And really, with all the things that have been going on, and I know my schedule has been busy, and I'm going to be taking some time off because this is what I even wanted to encourage you. Because on that year-end to-do list, where shopping might be on that list, where cleaning is on the list, where organizing, even throwing out some things. I know that's going to be on my list. I have a lot of things to throw out because of a transition that I'm currently in the midst of. And also, what do you need to hold on to and what do you need to plan for? But in all of those things on your to-do list, I want to make sure that you, the person, you get to be on that list and not have to do some of the things on the list, because sometimes just being is what we need to do, so we just need to be who we are. We need to be at rest, be at peace, and just relax for a minute. It's been quite a year. It's been quite 2 years. And for some people, it's been a decade, 5 years, whatever. But the thing is, doing less well is on my list for 2022. But even, I got the opportunity to just kind of bask in just celebrating people, being, in fellowship, just breaking bread, and then also celebrating a career, celebrating a lifetime of working in a field with my director of a nonprofit we started. And so he's retiring and I'm moving on to work with you guys even more so. And so just doing some of these things that you kind of have to just pull back for a minute and realize that you have done a lot. And I just want to shout out to those of you that you have done a lot. And like I said, we talk about on Wednesdays how this is the day we put you back on the list, because in the midst of all the things that go on, you get at the bottom of it. In fact, you can't even see where you are on that list. And I want to just kind of check the list today and just kind of, celebrate you. I want to shout out all of my authors, all of my writers, all of my online students, all of you guys who have been hanging in there all year with me. I just started the online courses this year, and many of you signed up. Many of you were able to take the course to move forward. Some people move forward all the way to the end. Others, you're still in process. And that's fine because you're further along now than you were a year ago. And that's the thing. We have to celebrate that we've made some movement, because for many years, movement didn't take place, especially when it came to writing our books. So I just want to applaud and shout out all of you, because you make my life valuable. You add much value to me, because you let me know that this is what I'm supposed to do. That when I hear your stories, when I hear the resiliency of things that you've overcome, of traumas and different things that have happened, I just really am in awe that I get to do this. And so helping you even to move forward and what you need to do to tell your stories. I mean, some of you have amazing historical, stories of your life here in this country, and others have just great, just family stories, or you have expertise in a subject, or there's something that someone can benefit from your life. And so that's what we want to be here tonight to do, to just celebrate all of you. There have been so many books, we've got through 25 published books this year. We've got, I think, 48 people have gone through the online course. And then there's hundreds of more who just kind of, I've had conversations with, we've had consultations with, and so many other things. So several hundred people in just a year. So as my pastor says, I'm the most blessed woman that I know. And so, but to be able to help usher people, to kind of help them move through the process of, got one person on their landing page talk about, hey, I'm at 7 centimeters, that she's ready to give birth. And so shout out to B Sweets down in Augusta, that she's just about ready. We're at the last stages of getting her book done. And so shout out to her. There are several others in the works. We've got Tracy Hare, we've got Sandra Thomas, we've got Ellen Barnett. There are lots of people who are moving forward with the publishing of their books. And so we're just excited. We are excited about where they were. We're excited about where they are now. And even those of you, there's still so many. Shout out to just all of the authors who completed their books this year. Shout out to Ivy Smith, out there just doing all kinds of things now. She's got, her food special going on where she's making healthy meals. She's working out. She's keeping, every part of her life fit and healthy. So, and a book will do that to you, because once she finished her book, she could release that and do the next thing that she needed to do. And sometimes that book is a cathartic way of releasing some of those things that have held you back. And so, we had a wonderful book. Sissy Jones in Texas doing Finding My Way Back to Me. Just an amazing book. I have recommended it to therapists because I think that that's a great book even for therapists to use for their patients. And so many of you have just really gone in and just did the work. And so I'm here to celebrate you. I'm here to answer any questions that, I got a few posted. So I just wanted to take the time to make sure that you got the support and even the shout outs that you need, because you guys have really done great. I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you that you have done it. I'm so proud of those in our online course that, when they come to the group coaching and they're sharing their hearts, they're sharing their lives. So shout out to all of you. I don't want to call your names because some of our, confidentiality, agreements are in place. But we want to just thank all of you for just really making this year amazing. One of the questions that I had was about different platforms, that, we use Amazon KDP, but there are other platforms that we use. And it just depends on your book. I find that that's the easiest one, especially for new artists or new authors to use, especially when they're going back and forth into that platform. Another question I had was about, how do you choose your title? That people are still trying to figure out their titles, that sometimes, the answer is that sometimes it doesn't come right away. Sometimes you need to work through that outline, work through some of those chapters before the title presents itself, because it will present itself. That some titles, boom, are right there right away, and then there are other titles that work their way, that they are yet to be revealed. I'll put it that way, that they need you to uncover them and discover them in your writing, because sometimes it's in the words that you write that the title will come about. But then sometimes it's just in your spirit, it's in your mind that, oh, wow, this is the title. I know this is the title I've had for a while. But also be careful about a title that you've had for a while, because you might need another one, or you might need a subtitle. So be flexible, always be flexible, because the more you have give, in who you are, the more your book has to reach the audience that it needs to. Because sometimes adjustments and shifts have to take place in order for us to get the things done that we need. And shout out to Miss Jennifer Weisbert Moreno, who has checked in. Shout out to you. I'm just honoring and thanking all of our students and our authors who are doing the work, that you are doing the work, my dear. I know you're at probably chapter 3 or 4 at this point. So we just want to thank you for allowing me to just help support you in this journey of writing your book, that you are doing the work, that you have a great story. You have in different facets of your story that I think it's just amazing that that you're here to share that with us. And so another question that I had was about, covers. They were like, do you have to be on the cover of your book? And it depends. It's like, do you want to be on the cover of your book? I mean, for some people, if it's your first book, or if this book is about your life, or it's a way to showcase, for some people, it's about positioning. It could be, your book might be a career move, for you. It might be about putting yourself out there, as they say, for people to see you. And if you need to be seen, if you need to be visible, then putting yourself on the cover of the book is a great marketing skill, that you can do that. And then people, like, when they buy your book and you're on it, it's like, yeah. Or, they're walking around with your book and they're like, oh, that's the author. It's like Oprah was on the cover of all of her magazines, I think, but the last one, so it's a great marketing tactic or technique. And so it works, other covers work just as well. So it just depends, like if you don't want to be on the front, you can always be on the back in the author profile, or you can have landing pages. You can have a website with your pictures on it. I mean, just all kinds of things that you can do. But that's one of the things, so it depends on what your book is about, that it's a great way to market your book, that people see you. It's a great way to increase your profile. And when people see you, that they'll know that that's your book. Let's see. Any other questions? Hey, Jennifer, did you have any questions? You can put it down in the comments. And I'm just pulling up a couple other ones. How long does it take to write a book? Well, I have been able to work with my clients and get it done in 90 days or less. And it just depends on the kind of book you're writing, and then who you are. Some people need a little bit more time than others. There's no set amount of time. I mean, I've seen things where you can write a book in a weekend, you can write a book in a week, you can write a book in 30 days, you can write a book in 10. So you see numbers that are put out there. I think that when you go through the process of at least creating an outline and knowing what your audience is, the purpose of your book, you might need a little bit more time than a weekend if you haven't thought about these things before, or if your book is not, for pure marketing purposes. For that purposes, you pretty much can write a book, because it's normally you can do it in a way where, you can get certain questions and you just fill in the narrative. But for things that are about your life, even you processing some of the things you write, you're definitely going to need longer than a week. And it might take you a weekend just to get over to thinking about that situation that you experienced back in your youth, or in a marriage, or, other relationship, or even in the workplace. And so for books that need, more of you in it, where you might have to travel through some periods of time that were difficult, or even to kind of remember all of the different parts of a story, where you might have to check in with someone, you might have to do some research, so those things will determine how much time you need. And particularly if you have never started the process prior to, wanting to write that book, or even working with me. So if the first time you meet me, the first time you see me is when the idea just comes in, and it's like, it's historical, for instance, or you need to get some numbers or dates, then it might take a little longer than a weekend, but it can definitely get done in 90 days and most likely 6 months. It's only, when, life gets in the way that you might need more time, or it just might just be your manner or style, but guaranteed 30 days, 90 days, 6 months, you can definitely write a book, particularly when you're committed, and I work with committed people. I work with people who want to get this done. They're not just talking about write a book. They're actually doing the work. And I've had some of the most amazing clients, and they have just added just tremendously to my life. They've helped me get better. They've helped me be a better writer, editor, publisher, and just human being. I'll put that out there. Someone said that about me. And so that's what this work has done for me. And I'm looking forward to doing even more. I've got some new things coming up in 2022. We're going to be doing some more marketing and teaching you how to do some marketing of your book, how to get some things done even before your book is published. And so that's one that we give you a little tidbit of that in the online course. But we're going to be working out some more things with you in 2022 as we grow and expand. because it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to just, working with people a little bit more. I've got some different clients that are coming into the fold, who are at other levels and in other industries. And so it's just always great. I am a lover of people and new experiences. So this is just right up my alley, and like I said, I get to do this. I get to do the thing that I love. I've been writing my whole life, just about. Started out doing resumes and writing notes for people when I was in elementary school and middle school. And so it has just, expanded into so many other fields, from writing plays and scripts and, working on a film now with a colleague. And it's just, a lot of good things are on the horizon. So I just want to thank you and celebrate all of my writers, all of my authors, all of my soon to be published authors, for putting in the hard work this year, that despite everything that our world has gone through, that you have stayed the course. That so many times, we give up, we fall off, we don't communicate, we just kind of fold back in. But it's like when you've made a commitment, and particularly when you've invested your time, your resources, and your life into getting something done, and you get it done, then, just, not only pat yourself on the back, but, celebrate, do something to celebrate. And yes, thank you, Stephanie. She's someone who said she was writing a book and she did it. And she's out here doing amazing things with the working woman's lifestyle, working from home woman's lifestyle. I know I probably got it messed up, but you're still doing great things. I know you were just doing a Veterans Day thing. And I mean, you're just everywhere. You were actually in my area not too long ago. So welcome to the East Coast from the left coast out there, keep up the good work, Stephanie. I just honor even the relationship that we were able to build when we wrote your book, and just, the continual work that you're doing in so many areas. And that's the thing, when you write a book, it opens other doors for you. You are able to take that book with you when you're in other settings, and you can display it. You can say, oh, by the way, can I put my books out for display? Or if there's a table for sale, like having your book gives you even more access, and for people to find out more about you, and for you to be able to sell your products, sell your books. You can write a t-shirt, all kinds of things. Stephanie's book, Journey to Self. And it's just like, lots of people have to take that journey back to find out who they are. And so that's a huge thing right now. So being able to tap in to the psyche of what's going on with men and women in America and around the world. It's like people are really getting in touch. They call this season the Great Resignation, that a lot of people, yes, opens the door to lots of adventure. Yeah. And even with the Great Resignation, people, whether retirement or just like I'm done, or I just want to do something different. I want to utilize my gifts in a different way, or I want to, do something that's away from the thing I've been doing, more as a job and not my passion or my career. And so being able to step into that, and trusting that the gifts and talents that are inside of you are going to take you where you need to go. That many times we don't take the risk, we don't take the challenge because we're afraid. But it's like, why live a life afraid of everything? It's like, we make mistakes all the time, but it's like we recover all the time. So, even if you do something that that other people may not think, but if it's in you to do it, if it won't let you go, if it stays with you, then that's the thing that you need to do, because that's what you were called to do. I know there have been many things in my heart that, I've done where it was like, why did you do that? And it was like, because I needed to do that. And then even as I shared earlier, I was sharing with my son about, the position I'm leaving after 21 years. And I said, because that assignment is done. There were many times where leaving was a good option for me. But for some reason, I stayed the course, and I stayed it through 27 employees, coming and going in different areas. And, I've had different positions there. But I knew that this was the time. And that's the thing you need to know when it's your time to do something, when it's your time to shift. That's why, timing is everything, because sometimes we might do things and it's like it feels rushed, or you don't have peace about it. And I know that's one of the keys for me. Do you have peace about it? is there peace? Like if you're feeling all, and not that doing something new won't create some kind of anxiety, but not the kind that keeps you up at night and keeps you worried and anxious and all that. But just like it's just new, it's unfamiliar. You haven't done this before. But I'm excited. I mean, I've already been doing it. So I'm just going to, dive head in on even to expand in some other areas because, the arts have always been a part of my life. So writing, dancing, theater, travel, other cultures, languages. So that's going to become more of my life even also in this season. So I'm just excited. And like I said, and you guys have made it possible that, I honor and celebrate all of you for the good work that you've done. Like the books, like looking back on my bookcase here, like I have 2-3 bookcases full of books of my clients, that I have read, of course, but I also take with me. So when other people's like, well, hey, and, some of you may see your books in places you didn't even put them because I'm working with some different indie book stores and other places just to promote your books. Okay. So when I take a picture of it and send it to you, just know that I'm like, hey, I got this trove of clients that I want to honor them and get their books in your bookstores. And so that's one of the things I'm going to be working on in the coming year, making some contacts now. But again, I just wanted to come on here today and celebrate you. If anybody had any questions, I did go through about 5 or 6 earlier, but if there were any other questions or comments, or you can leave them down below and I can post them in the community. But I just want to shout out all of you guys. I know that as we get closer to Christmas and the end of the year, that people are going to check out or close out. But, I'm going to still pop in because I want to not only see your face, but let you see mine and let you know what I'm doing. But, just making some changes and growing and expanding and just, making life a lot more ease and grace, doing a lot less, but well. Because focusing, I'm reading a book called The One Thing right now. And sometimes what's the one thing that you do really well? Focus on that and let everything and all your decisions be around the thing that you're supposed to be doing. Because sometimes we do too many things and we get, a little stretched, and not that you can't do multiple things, but are these things leading you to where you need to be? And so that's what I want to say to you, that even as you go through that end of year to-do list, crossing things off the list, buying gifts for people, sharing, connecting, cleaning, clearing, all those things that people do at the end of the year, make sure you're on that list. Make sure that you take some time for you so that you can refresh and renew and repair. That sometimes, you might need to sleep. Your body repairs itself while you sleep. So make sure you take time for you. Make sure you do those things that make you feel good. If it's just laughing with friends, having some hot cocoa or chocolate, or just sleeping, do what you need to do. Because this world is going to keep spinning, and we know that people need the break. Like other people might spin around you, but do what you need. Okay. So make sure you take time for you. And I'm going to be taking some time for me because I know I need it. It's been a long year, but it's been exciting. I have enjoyed every moment of it. And like I said, I get to do this. I get the privilege and the honor of sharing life with you all. And like I said, you've made my life so much better. So I'm going to sign off here. I will be back next week and popping in here and there, with some other things going on. So until then, love you guys. Thank you. And I celebrate all that you've done in 2021. I'll see you soon. Bye.